No, I don't. Oh! This baby snapping turtle I found stuck in the mud. It was like dried to it and like unable to move, and now it's like finally starting to move. Like it was like limp when we found it and its eyes were shut, and now it finally has opened its eyes. I don't know what to do. Oh my
He's
God.
moving.
He's like actually coming to. It's crazy because he was like so limp and just I thought he was dead. He's kind of like a puppy dog. Today's entire video is a Bowser break, so let's go get him. And hopefully he doesn't bite me. He is a snapping turtle, and sometimes they do that. So this is Bowser's outside pond. He comes right up to me most of the time. But the way that I get him out, though, is I have to distract him with one hand and then come from behind and grab him with the other. Be careful, because he will sometimes push like he is right now, and he can scratch the F out of me. He usually doesn't snap, but I mean, I've had him a long time, so he's not like really aggressive or anything. You can see he's not too bothered. Hi, chickens! Look, here's Bowser. So I just went to open the door, and when I put my hand in front to open the door, he did try to snap. So that's pretty much the biggest thing we have to look out for him, is you just gotta make sure you keep your, yeah. Bowser, you have to be here for this one because it involves him. So let me do the new plushie reveal. You guys know that I make limited edition plushies of my spiders. So for my 11th plushie, I'm branching out a little bit, and this has been requested a lot. All right, buddy, are you ready for this? Oh, he does not like it. Big smile, the little claws. Look at his shell. We did make his shell a little bit flatter than what his shell looks like right now, but that's just because, as you guys know, snapping turtles, as they grow, their shells actually smooth out quite a bit, and we didn't want to make him look like an alligator snapping turtle. Alligator snapping turtles are known for always keeping the spikes on their shells. Over the past years, his have definitely smoothed out, but they will eventually be as smooth as this, probably when he is about this size, which is probably not too far from now. He obviously needs his gummy worm, which is one of his favorite things to eat. It's officially Halloween season, which means he also has a costume. Okay, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. Okay, what about this? He's dressed up like Salem, my tarantula. See, here's the Salem plush, and then here's Bowser dressed up as Salem. I love the costume. So I really hope you guys like this one. I think that is adorable. Oh. No, I don't. Oh! If you guys want to get your limited edition Bowser plushie, you have to pre-order it. It will not snap you like this one. It's only available for a very limited amount of time. You have to pre-order it because they're made to order. He will not be coming back out, but this year for Halloween, I wanted to do something a little bit more fun, so that's why we finally went forward with the Bowser plushie. Of course, he has a spider costume, and it has Velcro on the sides that you can just attach, but I know Bowser is very loved on my channel, so hopefully you guys like this one. And look at his little tail. Look at his fat little thighs. So let's talk about keeping a snapping turtle as a pet. This is for a very niche amount of people that can accommodate a snapping turtle's temperament and also accommodate a snapping turtle's size and waist load, because even when he was a little guy this big, he accumulated so much poop in his enclosure. When he was just a little turtle, like even smaller than this, I would get a turkey baster, and every single day I would suck his turds out on top of having a filter. So he was quickly one of my most high maintenance pets. Would I have ever decided to keep a snapping turtle if I didn't come across him and see him in the condition he was in? Absolutely not. I would probably not keep a snapping turtle had that not have happened. Now that I have him, he's actually one of my favorite pets. Even though you guys don't see him as often as the spiders, he is still one of my main pets. And right now he has a pond outside, and he also has a nice big stock tank in the basement. And so he kind of bounces between the two depending on weather. He started out in my living room in our apartment in little plastic bins that kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually we moved and we put a big stock tank in the basement that was even bigger. And then once the weather got better, we put an even bigger stock tank outside. And eventually he will need something even bigger. Snapping turtles get pretty large, not as large as alligators, but quite large, and they also have quite an attitude sometimes. But I do have to say, if you decide to keep one as a pet and you get one from a young age, like I did him, I would say his temperament is actually pretty freaking good for a snapping turtle. I mean, as you see, I've been holding him up this whole time talking. He hasn't snapped at me one time. Now he's kind of clawing me a little bit, ow, which is the biggest thing he really does, is he likes to claw me. The way that I hold him is I hold his back shell, I've got my finger right there on the bottom of it, and I hold his tail pretty tightly. You know, I've got him pretty secure, so if he decides to push his back legs onto me and try to jump out, I've got a firm grip on him. And I've also got my fingers on the back of him because his neck is quite long. When he does decide to snap, he can reach pretty far. So just keeping my hand back here prevents that from happening. But it's a risk, okay? Snapping turtles, they snap. It's just a natural thing for them to do. But I remember when I did get him, a lot of people told me that he would never be nice. Like, they said that he would always just be super hard to work with, super snappy, super aggressive, and I just have not found that to be the case. Obviously, when he gets out of water, he does tend to get a little snappy if something gets near his face, but that is something that can be worked on. You can see how he's okay with me holding him. Like, that's because I've handled him a lot. Like, he's totally okay with me holding him. I can even pet his shell, and I have a friend who's crazy enough that comes here and pets his head every time he comes here, but he has lots of snapping turtles at home, so he has no fear. Ironically, he's also been bit by Bowser, but every time that's happened, it was deserved. I do think that snapping turtles have the potential to be amazing pet, but I just don't think it's for everyone, and I don't think it should be for everyone. We don't want to see a snapping turtle that has been domesticated for years and years and years go out into the wild. That usually doesn't end well for them. We don't want to see them dumped off at a rescue who obviously can't accommodate their size. When I decided to keep Bowser, I was very careful. I reached out to multiple people in the event that I couldn't accommodate him anymore. Would you take him? And fortunately, I have some friends that would be able to have taken him in if things didn't work out. As a small turtle, you know, our apartment was enough, but we outgrew it. I mean, we outgrew it just as a family in general, but the animals started to outgrow it too. And I'm gonna be completely honest, there were so many nights that I was just laying in bed when we lived there thinking, how am I going to make this work? Because one of the last things I wanted to do was get rid of Bowser ever. But I knew that he was a growing turtle and eventually he'd need more space. And so I just decided I was gonna work my ass off and we were gonna get a house eventually. I didn't know when or how, but I just knew that it had to work out because I would do really anything for my animals and my family, obviously. And I just wanted everybody to have the space they needed and the care they needed. And now he's got 2 tanks at our house. Eventually we'll expand to an actual pond in our backyard. That is just not something we got done this year. You know, I disagree that they make bad pets. I don't think they make bad pets. I don't think they make bad pets at all. And I disagree that they can't be worked with and tamed. I mean, you guys have seen Clint's reptiles probably. He has a snapping turtle who is even way more docile than Bowser. Like, he's not even head shy. I think they can just like easily touch his head and just like kind of trust it. I don't know if Bowser will ever get to that because, you know, their temperament does vary, but it is something that can be worked on. But yeah, I wanted to make a plushie of Bowser because I feel like he's like taught us so much. I've really learned a lot keeping a snapping turtle, and I really think that they can make great pets, and I disagree with a lot of things that people originally told me when I decided to bring them in and keep them. All right, we're gonna take Bowser outside to eat, but before we do that, let's take a Salem break. Yeah, we're gonna do a Salem break. We're gonna go feed Salem like we do Bowser breaks, you know? But it's gonna be Salem since you're wearing his little outfit.
And now it's time for
Salem
break.
All right, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like this video if you did, subscribe if you're not, and you want to be. Don't forget I have an Instagram that they use probably way too much. It's at Tarantula.Kat. Link to the new plushie is down below. Remember, this is very limited edition. If you want one, do it ASAP because they will not be available too long. Anyway, I will see you guys soon. Let's get into the members picks.